Hey guys, Savage Recovery back for another video. How are my savages doing? If you guys aren't subscribed, do me a favor. If you want to support the channel, subscribe, hit the bell, get all my notifications. Hit a like, comment, share, help me out with the algorithm. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you can find me at savage_red_studios, where you can see all of my photography. And also I have a Facebook page and a Twitter. And you guys can check me out on Patreon. You guys can also check me out on the Cash App. Let's get into it. Hey, how are my savages doing? So this video is about false allegations, and this is also here to let you guys know that this is what I see in this video, and this is what I think. And I think this stuff right here is going to cause, if this thinking keeps going on, it's going to make relationships, marriage, and men dealing with women way worse. I don't think there's any hope if this becomes mainstream like it is now. If this is on this show, it's already mainstream, so we might be doomed. Like, let's get into this video, guys.
The 90s group Total. If you guys do not know, she recently came out this week by admitting that she actually lied about her ex-husband being Cyntoia Brown's current husband, who is also a former member of Pretty Ricky. He is who replaced Pleasure when Pleasure had all of that going on. But in the video, Pam said, do you want to read that, O?
I come before you today with deep regrets concerning a statement I'm about to make. On October the 20th, 2019, for my show Pam's World, I made a comment about my ex-husband, Jamie Long.
There you go.
And, sorry, the gnat was next to me. Notorious. All right.
Well,
come on, Notorious B.I.G.
I got it.
This is gross.
Yeah. I'm mad we got the applause for this.
I'm getting, bro. All of that.
All right. So getting back to Pam. And that comment was that he forces himself on women. And right after that, I said, do you remember that night? Basically, I was telling the world that my ex-husband forced himself on me sexually. And that was a lie.
All right.
Jamie, I am sorry
Wow.
for what it is that I've said about you. I'm sorry for the shame that I have brought to your name, to your family, to you, your wife, your mom, your sister, and your cousin too. All right, she didn't say that. She didn't say that. And
I do just want to say they ended up going on the Breakfast Club, and Cyntoia actually said she was like almost badgering her, like, do you know the type of man that you with? Do you know the type of man that you lay down with every night? Like, and again, she apologized to, again, him, his family, his wife, his mom, his sister, whatever. But my problem is that she didn't apologize to victims.
Yes, because the people that she didn't indirectly, like, okay, so a couple things here. Unfortunately, guys, women make false allegations and it does hurt the victims, but at the end of the day, I don't care about the victims. I don't care. If anyone cared about the victims, it should be the woman that's making the claim. I'm worried about the man and his family that had to live for a year under the idea of news media and people saying that he was a graper when he wasn't. When his ex-wife came out and said that he was a graper.
That this actually takes place with, and the fact that women already have an issue coming out saying when things.
Name when that time period was in our lifetime, because I can tell you right now, I can remember during the 90s when all those allegations came out about Bill Clinton. I can remember all the allegations that came out against Trump, all the allegations that came out against Kavanaugh, the allegations against Biden. There's allegations that come out against Weinstein. There's allegations that came out against Bill Cosby. There have been women that have been coming out and becoming famous and gaining money and power off of the idea of coming out against men and making a claim that they were raped. There have been multiple college students that have come out and made false allegations in the last 5 to 6 years. Women are not afraid to come out and say some bullshit or tell the truth. That is a lie. This isn't 1706. This isn't fucking 1801. This isn't the Middle East. We don't live in Afghanistan. You're not going to be stoned for coming out and making an allegation, even if it's false. Like, women don't even get charged for false allegations, so why would they be scared to come out for real allegations? Like, it makes no sense.
Things happen to them. And the idea that women use this as a weapon against men, it's an awkward conversation to have because, yes, women do need to come forward, especially when they talk about this. But to know that women also weaponize the act that they can say that a man abused them sexually, and it could literally alter the entire life of a man.
Correct.
It's crazy because I was having this conversation with Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs was accused of something that later came out to find it was a lie, but we were having the conversation around when Kobe died.
Yeah.
And a part of it was just like, even everything that happened with Kobe when he passed, this is the thing that people decided to talk about.
Right.
So even with talking to Freddie, like, despite everything good that you do in your life and the things that, you know, you having, you know, your child and all this, the fact that you could be remembered by something that someone falsely accused you of, and that's almost a part of your legacy, fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's shitty.
It is, but I think we gotta have.
No, not but it is. It is. There is no but it is. It is shitty. And the fact that you're going to try to turn to a different conversation. The conversation is about false allegations. This isn't about anything else. There doesn't need to be a conversation about body language and all this bullshit. You women are playing games. It's that simple. You guys want to say no but mean yes, say yes but mean no. You want to be chased, you say, like, you want to be pursued. You want to make it completely and utterly difficult to deal with you. That's what it is.
We got to have a couple conversations around this, and I agree with you. It is sensitive, but I think we got to have a couple conversations because there's a lot of language around how a lot of these situations should be defined better, right?
Okay.
Because I think oftentimes we hear the word rape and assault get thrown around a lot, and harassment get thrown around a lot, but we don't really discuss the impact of coercion, which I also think can still be under the umbrella of assault. However, I think.
Okay, so explain something to me. How is it that you try to coerce men into marrying you or giving you stuff, and that's okay, but men want to have sex with you and you know this, but that's a bad thing when they want to convince you to have sex with them? How is it that you women have been coming out here and saying that you guys are so strong that you can do everything men can do, but you can't deal with pressure of men wanting to have sex with you? That's the reason that you guys wear makeup and have Instagram and Snapchat. Like,
I do think we have to distinguish the difference between somebody forcing themselves on you and you saying no and not having the power at any point, whether physically or mentally or emotionally, to get.
why would you not have the power physically, emotionally? Like, why would you not? You are women. You are just like men, but better, right? Like, that's like, isn't there no differences between men and women? Like, isn't that what you feminists say? That you guys can do everything that we can? You're just as strong. So why is it that you guys can't do that?
Get up and stop the activity from going on, and make the separation between that and you participating in a number of conversations and showing up in different scenarios at different points of time where there is room for you to be manipulated and you to be I think the coercion part.
What do you mean coercion? Like, what do you mean? Like, you guys are trying to play a victim. Still, you're trying to play a victim in a conversation about a woman lying about a man raping her.
Part of it we have to discuss, because I know a lot of women who have been in situations with men where it may have felt like they were taken advantage of in the moment, when in fact
It was coercion.
when in fact they consented to it and they just regretted it afterwards. And that's totally acceptable.
that's a
That's
whole nother
honestly
thing.
what
That's
I'm
another-
reading from here.
Correct. That's how this feels to me. This feels to me like she cried wolf a little bit, but in actuality,
She cried. She was married to him. That was her husband. She cried wolf a little bit. She had sex with a man and called him a rapist. How are you going to say that that's a little bit of woofing and that she regretted having sex with her husband? Like, do you guys even hear yourselves?
she might have consented in a moment when she didn't really want to consent.
Right.
But it sucks because once you give consent, you
No. So
once you
let's
give
just say yes.
consent,
You could say no at any
you
time.
you
though.
can. But what I'm saying is once you give consent and you if you don't say no, you can't say that somebody raped you if you didn't say no after you said yes.
Exactly.
That's
and
not
here's
fair.
and this is why I
How is it not fair? This right here is why you need to stay away from women. This right here, because they think it's unfair for them to consent to sex with you and then say no in the middle of it and it still be considered rape. This conversation right here should scare any man that sees this video, because they literally think it's unfair to be able to consent to sex and not get you for rape. That's what they're saying.
I truly
this
believe
is
that's
slippery.
what it's a slippery slope, and that's why I
Yeah.
believe that this is what is going on here.
So I feel like she lied.
she says basically, I was
Basically.
telling the world that my ex-husband forced himself on me sexually, and that was a lie. It's not to say she is not.
You're trying to read into something that's not there. She lied. How is it that you could manipulate your wife? How is that? Like, I'm gonna give you guys a secret here. Here's a little secret. Come in close. Men don't always want to have sex. There are plenty of times that we don't want to have sex, but we still do. Because guess what? If we tell you no, your ego, you'll get pissed. Also, if we tell you no, we might not get it again. Also, another fun fact. Let me put this in there. Come real close. Come real close. When you're married, you're supposed to have sex with your husband. That's why he is providing and protecting for you and going to work and bringing home money that you spend to have sex with you. Sorry. But if you don't want to have sex with your husband, then you don't need to be married. Because if you want to have sex with, if you don't want to have sex with your husband and you want to be married so that if he dies, you get his shit, or you leave, you get his shit, then he should be able to have sex with other people, right? Like, if you don't want to have sex with him, then he should be able to have sex with other people, correct? No? So then you should have to have sex with your husband. Like, how can you feel uncomfortable having sex with your husband? Explain this to me. Like, this right here, this bullshit that these women are doing is why marriage is not working. This right here is why false allegations are through the roof. This is why men are leaving women alone. You can hear them trying to do gymnastics to justify how this woman is right and she didn't lie, and that men need to do better. When you see all of the wish-washy changing and how they're just going back and forth on this, they literally said it's not fair that they can have sex with you and regret it and get you for rape.
Didn't
It's
feel
completely right. Didn't feel
right.
uncomfortable. Didn't feel coerced.
Correct.
Didn't feel all those feelings that she felt. Didn't feel like she was being mentally abused in that situation.
Correct.
Right.
Because those are also the things that she said within those statements that she made back then, a year ago.
The thing is too, us being very, words mean things.
Yeah.
And so for you to say that you forced yourself onto me sexually, that is almost essentially the definition of rape.
Correct.
No, that is the definition of rape. It is not almost. Essentially, it is the definition. Like, that is, it's clear cut definition of rape. The issue is feminists and you women keep changing what rape is. That is rape. Like, this is the most brain cancer I've ever seen. These women don't know what they're talking about. And if these women think what they're saying makes sense, then men are doomed. Men are doomed. In this conversation, they honestly are saying that you can feel uncomfortable and shouldn't have to have sex with your wife or with your husband, and that you should be able to revoke consent after the fact and get a man for rape.
So that's the thing, when you say certain things, as not only as women, but as men, I think the men have to understand more body language.
I agree.
Not only body language, but there's other things besides no that mean no.
Guys, you can't even define what rape is. You literally are trying to say that you can rescind consent. What body language do I need to read for me to know after you agree to have sex with me that 3 days to 2 years later, you're going to now see it as rape? How am I going to read that? You women don't even know what you want to eat. If I say, what do you want to eat? You say, I don't want Taco Bell. That's not what I asked you. As a human being that needs food to sustain your life, you don't even know what you want to eat. How the fuck am I supposed to know what you mean? I gotta stop. This shit is crazy, guys. Follow me at Patreon. Follow me on Parler, on Instagram. I've got all the social media. If you go to my Patreon, you guys can get my phone number if you join. Also, there's a Discord where you can talk to me directly, or you can message me through Patreon. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Ladies, tell me in the comments if you agree with what these ladies are saying. Men, tell me if this is crazy to you. But this right here is why we can't, like, relationships are doomed. Like, this isn't going to work out. There's very little pro relationships that's going to come out of our generation and the generations behind us because of women like this. Like, these are women on a show that they're not random women that no one knows of. These are public figures that people know who they are, and they think that this stuff is okay. I hope these women have sons. I hope these women have sons, and I hope their sons go through the same bullshit they're saying is okay. As always, guys, stay savage.